Greetings, Legionnaires, and welcome to the Wrestlelegion Weekly Podcast. I'm Nick the Geek, and I'm joined today by two fantastic friends, two brilliant brains, two marvellous minds. I'm joined today by, of course, the Redeemer himself, Andy. Andy, how the hell are you doing?
Hi, Nick.
And thanks for that brilliant bit of information there. This is why we keep you on the show, Andy. Now, and we are joined by a newly blonde, a new man who is clearly, the spy mission is progressing well, it would appear. We still cannot inform you where he is, but Simon is on location and he is here with us today. Simon, how the hell are you doing?
I'm all right, mate.
Thanks. See, this sterling conversation is why I work with these two gentlemen. All right, let's just hope we can get some more out during the actual show. Stop, blokes. First up, lads, we're going to get straight into the show because we'll try and keep it short this week. We're going to hit a bit of a double header involving Wembley Stadium. Now, everyone heard my rant last week. They still haven't announced any more matches. The rumour has it that we are going to, thanks to Sean Ross Sapp at Fightful.com, thank you SRS, we are going to be getting Will Ospreay versus Chris Jericho at Wembley Stadium, which currently makes zero sense unless Don Callis is a big part of putting this match together. So, Simon?
You know what I hate? Straight away. I think the word is convoluted or contrived or something like that. It's a case of, we're going to get somewhere, we're going to write a story, and we're going to tell you what the end of the story is before the story's even started. No, we don't want that. Let it happen naturally, so it's not contrived. Let it play out, and then deliver the goods. Don't go telling us what the matches are, and then building the story, because no.
But while we're sticking on the subject of Wembley, Andy, I have been a bit out of the loop this week, except for watching wrestling. I haven't paid attention to much news. However, because I've been busy. Andy, however, you informed me today that Bully Ray has been up to his old tricks again. Would you like to fill everybody in on what our dear friend Bully has been saying?
So Bully Ray, who, bear in mind, he always loves the fact of tell a story, build the story. Well, he come out and he's basically said that he was commenting on the fact that Tony Khan has not announced a match for All In yet. It seems to be, it's starting to gain a lot of traction with everybody now. And Bully's answer was, don't announce a match. Don't announce a match. Just let everyone get there and then just bang the matches out like that. And I was kind of straight away, I don't agree with that for one, but straight away I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, well, did you... I'm not the person that says tell the story, mate, but now you're saying to just let them come out and do it.
Yeah, this is, in my opinion, Bully Ray being a hypocrite, as he's known to be over the past few years. The man is obsessed, as you say. He's been the first one to detract from AEW for not having storylines that make sense and not having everything laid out in a plan. Yet now he's saying, here's the biggest show you're ever going to do. Don't plan it out.
Is this a legitimate quote though, or was he being facetious, sarcastic, whatever?
No. He was saying around this day, they haven't announced anything yet. At this point now, I would announce nothing. He said to just have the music for each individual person.
That makes no sense.
None whatsoever. Right, as three gentlemen.
That my friend is a house show.
Yeah, that is a house show. This is
or
three men who were thoroughly looking forward to going to All In. I still am looking forward to it. But the closer we get to the date, the more I'm concerned we are going to get a glorified house show.
Mm-hmm.
Which is unfortunate. Two things. One, it means Simon was right and realistically grab two of each animal ahead for the bastard border if that ever happens. And two, I don't like paying for a house show that's supposed to be a big frigging game. This is, and I'm going to use a video, as I love video games, I'm going to use a video game analogy to talk about this. Andy, you bought Fight Forever a few weeks ago. Did you not? Thank you.
Yes,
this is the reaction that this game deserves. Fight Forever has had 4 years in development. It was supposed to be this revolutionary game that was going to change the industry. And instead, what we got was a piss-poor copy of WWE No Mercy from 1996 that contains virtually no matches. Less than half
entrances
and no entrances. You have to fire the pyro off yourself. It's terrible.
You have to press L1 for smoke sight or R1 to get the pyro to go, but you have to press it yourself.
What is the point of that? What is the point?
And the entrances last
Right,
roughly
no.
3 seconds.
Mini run, right? So,
Go for it.
So pyro, right? Should be a surprise. Should be a pleasant surprise. Whether you're playing a game, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching a DVD or a video, watching online, it should be a surprise. So if you're having to trigger it, you ain't getting that surprise.
Exactly.
Hey, Jim.
He's not here, Jim.
Yeah.
I told you, we can't tell you where he is. We can't tell you why he's blonde. He's on a secret mission. It's very important, right? But we can't tell you anything about it. Can't even tell you his location. I don't know his location.
No.
But anyway, back to Wembley, boys.
He's floating in international waters.
So,
but yeah, just to go back to that as well, just in my defense, just so everybody knows, I actually won a PlayStation and I had a voucher with that PlayStation. I did not spend my own money, which is the only thing that actually gives me quite good comfort. So, yeah.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't
Andy
admit to
didn't.
buy it either.
That game will be.
Technically, I'm the one who convinced him to buy the game, so it's kind of my fault. Yeah, well, I didn't know it was going to be so bad. All I'm going to say is, Fortnite, when it came out, was the worst game ever made. Now it's the biggest game on the planet because they fixed it as a live service over time. AEW have the opportunity to do the same. However, back to Wembley Stadium, boys. Now, I ranted about this last week, so now I'm going to give one of you two gents. Yeah, I've got to him.
I should have
Got
done this
to
for
him, Jimmy.
WrestleMania. Yeah, you're right. I just need I need the tattoo on the neck and we're all good. Yeah.
Yeah, except it should be the Wrestlelegion logo.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Right.
I
Right.
like that.
Back to Wembley, boys.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to ask you two a simple question. On a rating of 1 to 10, how excited are we for this show?
For Wembley? Mind if I go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5. Okay. I'm giving it a 5 because I'm excited to see AEW live for the first time. You know, it's pretty much the only major company around now that I haven't seen, so I'm excited to see it.
Yep.
A few months ago, despite being skeptical, it was a 10. And it was a 10 because I was thinking it was going to be a SummerSlam 92 groundbreaking, proper kind of spectacle of an event. And now it's not. So it's a 5.
Andy?
I think there's two ways I've got feeling about this. I'm in the same camp as Size in. I was at a 10 when it was first announced, and now it's just gradually got smaller and smaller. So I don't want to give a rating on how excited I am for it because I am still excited for it because, again, same thing is I get to see a lot of wrestlers I haven't seen, a new company, etc. But I'll admit I've got a bit of anxiety that it's going to ruin AEW for me, where I'm just going to hate them after because of the way that I kind of can't hold a grudge like that, and I just feel like I'd hate the fact of that. But just to give a bit of positivity, we've got our ultimate positivity guy in the chat there, Jimbo, so I'll give a bit of positivity from my end. Is I'm looking forward to going to wrestling events with my friends again. And I think that there's going to be a big crowd, and no matter what, we will just take the piss and have a laugh like we always do. So, in that case, I'm kind of excited to kind of, so you got to look at it from two ways. And just the key for that as well, sorry, Nick, to butt in, but the key for that is there'll be a lot of fans that are going to that haven't looked at a build-up, haven't looked at anything, and they're going just because they want to go and see a wrestling. So,
they've not missed much build-up.
No, they haven't.
Myself,
right.
I'm still, hang on a second, I'm at around a 7 because of one name. Sting. As you both know, Sting is the reason I am a fan. The first match I ever watched was Sting versus Flair, Clash of Champions '88. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be anything around the business. The fact that there's a very good chance I get to see Sting at Wembley keeps me excited. That's why
it was my first ever Galoob.
No, Andy, your sound keeps cutting in and out, by the way.
Oh, apologies. I said he was my first ever Galoob.
It's like it's speeding up when you talk, dude.
Yeah, like when you talk, it's like you're at like 1.5 times speed.
Yeah. I'm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean here, kind of. somewhere undisclosed, and my sound seems all right, but yours keeps coming through like double speed.
I don't know why. Right, but anyway.
While we're waiting,
Any better?
I was just going to ask Jim. I was going to ask Jimmy if he's still watching.
Any better?
Yeah,
that's better, mate. Much better.
A lot better.
I was going to ask Jimmy if he's still watching. As an American, how does he feel about the build-up? You know, it's like if you forget everything you've read on the internet, how does it come across on television?
Well, I believe this comment answers that question.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, I think, and what I was saying there before, voice is robotic and quick, like it's like, I'd clicked on I've got a Vodcaster, which is like a thing that does it, and it's, I had the special effects button put on, so apologies, guys.
You sounded like
I'm just letting you know.
You sound a lot better now.
Well, I just let you know, I was saying that Sting was my first ever Galoob back in the day.
Oh, was he? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it was my first. Were they these solid figures that didn't move?
He with the cage.
They were the solid figures.
Yeah, the WCW ones. He come with
blue pants,
the ring with the cage, and it was Sting and Lex Luger was the other one that was in it.
Yeah. Sting stood like this. Lex stood doing the whole double arm pose. I had those.
He used to be able to do a belt at DDT with that.
Yeah,
I think that was
great.
Yeah.
Great. Right. Also, Andy, I've just remembered something from this week. We're going to move on from Wembley because it only just gets me wound up. And I'm just going to hope that in the next 3 weeks, everything is laid out. And by the time we go to the show, we know what's going on. But something happened on SmackDown that I watched before that I would like your opinion on, Andy. Because I know you're the largest fan of this man on the planet. This last week, Grayson Waller has been making a lot of inflections and, quite frankly, taking the piss out of one Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And on SmackDown, he even went to do his own version of the People's Elbow. Now, there's a rumor going around that because Hollywood's on strike at the moment, The Rock's going to be at SummerSlam. Andy, go.
I always expect him to be at SummerSlam or Survivor Series because I still believe he's going to be at WrestleMania 40. So if they're going to do it, they'll pull the trigger now. I think that the Grayson Waller stupidity is going to be a ruse in terms of they're going to do. Well, I think he will appear with Waller. I think it's set up. I think it's very Austin, Kevin Owens like that they're doing now. Seems to be following the same kind of formula that they've done in the build up to WrestleMania with them two, where it was Kevin Owens like Austin, thingy. I mean, I think Waller's being a bit more forward with it, but they're still following the same thing. But I believe that we could see him come out and take care of Waller, and then he'll get involved in the main event. If he does, I will absolutely go nuts.
Yeah, I will lose my.
Yeah.
You know what? If that happens,
because I feel like if he, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do believe he's going to appear at 40 no matter what, but I think this is going to be a real telltale sign in the fact of if he comes out, beats up Waller and gets off, I think they'll get 40.
Poor choice of words.
I said beat him up. I said beats him up and gets off. Good on, Phil.
Right, anyway.
Well, yeah, I think if he comes out, tosses him off and gets off, then we'll get something, just a promo at 40. But then if he comes back and goes deep into the main event, then I think we're going to see some tribal action at 40.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the innuendo hour with our friend Andy. Right, no, I am in complete agreement with you about Waller and The Rock. You're welcome. I think it is a bit of a Kevin Owens.
See, Jim gets it.
I think we are going to see similar to what he had with Cena at Money in the Bank with The Rock, except I think maybe it will be The Rock interrupting Grayson Waller as opposed to the other way around. I'm just excited to see him at this point. Like, we were all at Mania. We were all disappointed there was no Rock at WrestleMania. We're hoping I was fuming because
I missed out on 38 because I put all my eggs in one basket. to go to 39 because I believed it so much, and he burnt me. But I'll admit, as again I said, we're all hoping to go next year because. Again, I just won't give up hope. I won't give up. I just won't. I've clinging on to one day. I will hear the.
Hope is a wonderful thing, Andy, and everybody needs it. But that was just a quick intersection because it popped in my brain, and I knew you'd want to say something about The Rock. So moving on, lads.
Well, what do you think about it, Si? Have you seen the way that he's been going on social media and stuff?
All I've known, right? Honestly, right. I'm away. I've not watched. I haven't watched any wrestling all week. I'm here to kind of maybe try and add a little bit of humor to the show. Literally, the only comment I've seen, I've only been on Twitter like 3 times, and I saw a comment where somebody put that Waller should actually be in a feud with LA Knight because it'd be great for him to give LA Knight the rub. And I was like, wrong way round.
Backwards.
Wrong way round.
Yeah.
LA Knight would give Waller the rub.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good. Should he be fighting The Rock yet? No. Maybe he'll call The Rock out and it'll actually be LA Knight that answers.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I will say, and this is not for anybody everybody should not miss this very critical point, is the fact that The Rock mentioned Grayson Waller the other week.
Did he?
Oh,
did he now?
Yes, he did. And that's why Grayson Waller replied to him. Yes.
Well, an interesting note about that, though. I'm in Lisbon on Tuesday, and so is the Pope. But the Pope isn't going there because I'm there.
Yeah, I know. Well, do me a favor though, Si. If you see the Pope, please ask him to grace us with one, get us to Mania. 2, bless The Rock, and tell him thank you.
And 3, bless our YouTube channel for more subscribers. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been tuning
you
in
interviewed him
once,
didn't you?
Yeah.
Wrong one.
Oh, it was the black version.
Yeah, that was the black pub. But moving on, lads. So, what else we got up tonight? Speaking of LA Knight, Simon. LA Knight's push, by the looks of it, is going to be starting full swing after SummerSlam. There are a lot of people at the moment who are criticizing, saying, they should be pushing him now, so on and so forth. But I would argue that he's got a microphone in his hand every time he comes out to the ring. He cuts a promo before every single match. He tends to win most of his single matches on TV. I think they've already started the push. What do you reckon? Do you think they are holding off for a mega push, or do you think this is more of a slow burn where after SummerSlam they're going to...
I think at his age and how organic the push is going. I mean, you go back to WrestleMania and like the night after on Raw, people wanted him there, and he's been getting super pops right through. It's been getting bigger and bigger, and you need to pull the trigger and strike while the iron's hot. And particularly at his age, now is the time literally to push him to the moon.
I would agree.
Well,
Andy,
the thing is, how do you put? Sorry, can I just answer aside this question? Is how do you push him to the moon? Because I feel like the last couple of weeks on SmackDown, especially, they've been giving a bit and taking a bit away, which makes me get like, I want more. And then also, if you listen to them commentators, they just absolutely put him over every single time, just bang, 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 going on about his view numbers online, going on about the movements as they're trying to call it online, and they're really
Wade
going
Barrett
on.
is pretty much his spokesperson at this point. Like on SmackDown, Wade Barrett is just pretty much LA Knight's spokesperson at this point for the megastar, constantly pushing how good he is, how he's going to be the best thing in the world. Like, I think they're doing a reasonable job with it at the moment. Like, I'm enjoying the work he's doing on TV. I'm enjoying his promos.
Let's be honest. They're doing now with him what they should have been doing 3 years ago when he first went into NXT. They tried everything different ways. I think I said this last week, didn't I? It's like they tried so many different things, Vince and Triple H, and then eventually he's gone back to doing what he was good at in Impact, and it works. So do it.
Well, as the old phrasing goes, to quote Jim Ross, all the guys who make the biggest money in professional wrestling play themselves with the volume turned up to 11. That's all LA Knight's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. But as I say, I just think people are getting a bit too impatient with him. I feel like there's more to come out of this guy, and it's just bear with him. Let him let him take his time.
If the bloodline has taught, he does. Actually, I'd rephrase that. The US title needs LA Knight.
It's synonymous. Yeah, both.
Right.
I just think it just takes
that
time. Just to go back to, sorry, can I just go back to the Rock bit for a minute? Just so, because I know that you were saying that was Grayson Waller that made the comment. Okay, so Grayson Waller put a statement up and the Rock replied to him, man, you're right, going on about the Rock's outfit at his debut. Yeah. And the Rock replied to him, man, you're right, that outfit was so cringe. Here's what more cringe, the fact that you look and sound like you dropped out of some jabroni's balloon knot. Nice haircut, you out back, Jack. Off. P.S. My cringe outfit was all Triple H's idea. That's what he replied in the comments to him. So
that's the Rock being
the Rock. The interaction hasn't all been one way.
I've got to say, I'm surprised he blamed Triple H for that and not Chad Frost.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut, that is, Simon. That's a deep, deep cut.
If you know, you know, right?
But back to LA Knight.
I know, and with that getting ended, we will never know who Chad Frost is. Stupid NBC.
It's an unfortunate fact. It's an unfortunate fact. Yeah. Right, back to LA Knight, boys. As Simon has mentioned, he is in his 40s. He is in his 40s.
So yeah, I was referring to Grayson giving LA Knight the nod.
Funny like usual.
Yeah. Sorry, Jim. I thought you were being about the other one. And then Andy says no push till after SummerSlam. Yeah, I get, just to go back to LA Knight is, as I say, I just feel like people are trying to push him. What do you want him to win the title next week? It's kind of, again, it would have been a bit of a thing where he's getting there, but when you take it away a little bit and then give him it back, and
all I'm going to say is Stone Cold Steve Austin was once called the Ringmaster. Right? Took time, but eventually he got where he needed to get. LA Knight will do the same thing. The man is just as talented as Austin was. He's a phenomenal promo. He's got great in-ring work. His finisher is an absolute banger. It's just give it time. Let them cook. Let WWE cook. And I promise you, you will get what you want from LA Knight. You cannot ignore.
Well, that's the same, mate. You're getting the videos pumped out online. You're getting the commentators pushing him over. He's getting little backstage segments, microphones everywhere. It's happening. It's bubbling now. We're not there yet, but you know, the heat's on.
Notably, right? I saw what he did on SmackDown this week, just like a minute clip. And I think after the Maximum Male Models thing, where he's the manager and all that, he had a noticeable chip on his shoulder. You know, he was like downtrodden. And now the guy's got his confidence back. And that is a big thing for him.
Yeah, it is. It's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. Yeah. But keeping with the mid-card, gents, we're going to move on and we're going to talk about the US title tournament. Or as I'm deboning it, the US title debacle. Now, last night, we had the finals of the tournament between Rey Mysterio and Santos Escobar. This was a okay match, but unfortunately, just before the match could really get going, Santos hit Rey with the arrow to the outside, and Rey bashed his head really hard on the floor. A couple of minutes later, the match was waved off. Santos has won. It's gone on thing. Now, as you were telling me before, Andy, reports do say that Santos Escobar was supposed to go over clean over Rey and win the match. However, this is not my complaint. And I know it's not your complaint. I know it's not your complaint. The complaint is SummerSlam is next Saturday. It's in 6 days. And instead of having Austin Theory defend the US title tournament, the US title against the winner of the tournament on SummerSlam, they booked it for 2 weeks from now on SmackDown. Now, I'm pretty sure Gunther and Drew is on SummerSlam. Yeah?
Yeah,
Gunther and Drew is going to be on SummerSlam. I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor is on SummerSlam. I think it's going to be Rhea versus Raquel, if Raquel's knee injury is a work, as people think it is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're getting Roman versus Jay. Ronda Shayna. Unfortunately, I don't. Yeah, Ronda Shayna should be. Actually, let's have a quick talk about that, lads, while we're here. What type of match do you think we're going to get? Because Ronda and Shayna are both saying it's going to be a fight. Well, so I was thinking a fight pit, but
considering it features the first black woman to ever main event WrestleMania, my personal favorite women's wrestler of the past 5 years, and Shayna Baszler, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the match type is. Yeah, okay, so a fight pit would be great. You know, a little cage would be great. A submissions match would be great. end of the day, it doesn't matter. They are going to gel, and it's probably going to be Ronda's best match for a year.
I say it's probably going to be Ronda's best match in her career. Because Shayna helped train her. If anybody knows Ronda in the ring, it is Shayna Baszler. It really is Shayna Baszler. Well, back to the subject at hand over the US title. Why, gentlemen, is it not on the card?
Well, Jim has just made a good point here. The secondary title was getting used on many PLAs with when Gunther was on SmackDowns. It's a weird decision, but it's consistent with what they did. Now, straight away, when I've just read that, it's just given me a straight thought is, are WWE contracted to have so many title matches on that show by Fox? Or is there something there where it's kind of, let's to appease them, let's make sure this title's being defended on SmackDown?
I think personally, I mean, I don't know, but I think personally it's just down to the time constraints. You know, I've said for a long time, I think the pacing on Raw is better.
Yeah.
The mid-card gets more time. They get like 12, 15-minute matches instead of like 3-minute squashes. And I think that affects whatever mid-card belt is on SmackDown. Literally TV time is constrained.
Okay.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. It's always on TV. Either the US title is featured in a match or it's featured around the storylines. The point is they never put it on pay-per-view. It's like now, as Jimmy said, it's consistent because they used to do this with the IC title. But once Gunther got a certain amount of traction, he was defending on pay-per-view every single time. Austin Theory sucks. Sorry, I know you're a fan of this, Jimmy. But this has been the worst US title run in the history of the United States Championship since Test in 2001.
Okay. I was going back to Lex Luger in like 89, but yeah, okay.
Since Test in 2001, which was god-awful. I have not been a fan of Theory with this belt. I think he needs more seasoning. I think he needs more time to go on. But surely, giving the man weekly matches and pay-per-view matches on a consistent basis is going to go a long way to improving his stock as a champion. Would you not agree, Andy?
Yes, and yes and no. I mean, I think with Theory at the moment, the problem with him is he needs a character rebuild, because at the moment it's kind of, I'm just a gobshite and there's nothing else there. We don't really know anything about him. He doesn't get much mic time. There's no way that people connect with that. I mean, you know, he is a prick, yeah, but at the same time, there's got to be something there. There's got to be something more. Do you know, in terms of let's get to know him. Why is he like that? Why is he? We don't get that. We just get this little smirky crap now and again.
Okay. Well, Si, let me ask you this on that subject. Do you think that if Vince was still 100% in charge, Austin Theory?
Right. So, what I was just going to say was I think there's two reasons why Austin Theory has kind of gone lukewarm, being nice. I think the first one, straight away, is the change in management. Okay. He was getting the personal push from Vince. He was getting legitimate heat. He was on the right kind of trajectory to make it somewhere. And then with the change in management, he ended up cashing in to get the belt back that it lost. And it just made absolutely no sense. And I think he was maybe one of the worst victims of like the change in power. That and the fact that Dominic Mysterio has skyrocketed and just got such uber amazing, out of this world natural heel heat makes Theory look lame by comparison.
I'd agree with that. I'd agree with that statement. Especially, and while we're here and you've just brought him up, let's talk about Condom.
Yes.
Dominic Mysterio is now North American champion. This, in my, and everybody, both of you know, I've been a bit of a detractor of Dom over the last year or so, but I'm starting to come around, and I am happy with the fact that the first title he's won is from NXT. You know my argument, Simon. You know my argument, Andy. Nepotism got him on TV, but his talent is keeping him there now. He got his contract and he got on the main roster because of his father, but hard work and talent is what is currently keeping him there. Otherwise, Triple H would have shipped him back down to NXT personally by now. But the fact that he has won an NXT championship, which is a perfect championship for a young, inexperienced guy to win, right, that he is defending on a regular basis on more than one program shows me that not only has he kind of inherited what would have been Theory's push, but he's doing a better job with it than I think Theory would have done.
Yep.
And he's barely doing anything. Like, he's not allowed to talk. The fans won't let him speak. Rhea has to do all of his talking for him. But I would just like to say, yes, I'm coming around on Dominic Mysterio. He is turning out to be a tremendous little heel. Like, an absolutely tremendous little heel. And I cannot wait to see what they do with that US Championship.
Can I just say something as well with him, with Dom? He is coming back as a tremendous heel, but to be fair, one thing I do want to say about him is he's coming back as a tremendous talent.
Yeah,
I think people are saying, "No, he can only be a." Yeah. I just think people are turning around and saying, like, he could only be a heel or he's only getting this, but I think he's just great in general. He's just so good.
Let me ask you guys, when was the last time either of you saw someone get such like natural heel heat?
Don Callis, ECW, 1980, 1998.
Right, 98, you're saying? Because I was thinking like X-Pac or The Rock, like Rocky Maivia. It's been a long time.
Yeah, very, very long time. And I hope that he never gets injured, personally, because they've had a bit of an injury bug in WWE of late.
Yeah.
For example, another match that unfortunately I don't think we're going to get to see on the SummerSlam card is I do not believe we will have a World Undisputed Tag Team Championship defense, because Kevin Owens is apparently injured with busted ribs. So I do not see that title being defended, which is unfortunate. But they've both been working their arse off the last few months, so having a bit of time off is not necessarily a bad thing. Other than that, we are now moving on to Andy. Now then, we're going to talk about your personal favourite European wrestler. We're going to talk about our Intercontinental Champion. We're going to talk about the Ring General. And the fact that as of, I believe, yesterday or the day before, our Ring General surpassed the Macho Man Randy Savage as Intercontinental title reigns. Andy, I know you're excited about this. Please.
So he's on 416 days at present. And he's got another 40 days to go before 414 days, sorry, and he's got to get to 454. Honky's is 453. He's got about another 20 days until he takes over Pedro Morales. And then he goes over Honky, and that's him, the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. Now, the thing is that you've got to remember with this, and this is one of my things, is why?
I kind of feel... Well, because he's just lost his world title record to Roman. And he's about to lose his Intercontinental Championship to Gunther. Poor guy.
Can I ask it?
But nobody... But in terms of the Intercontinental, nobody cares about second place.
Can I ask you a serious question here? Right, and I am guilty of ignorance on this one. Is Pedro Morales still alive?
No.
I
don't think so.
In which case, then it doesn't matter if his records get broken, right?
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose.
I thought we lost him a few years ago. I might be wrong.
Yeah, 2019 he died.
Yeah.
So he's dead. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of them. No one cares about second place anyway, and the fact that he already lost it to the Honky Tonk Man a long time ago, I'm sure he'd rather somebody turn around and go, well, I was the, who was the great, who's had a longer reign than you, and or who was the top man of Honky Tonk. I'm sure they'd be a lot more happier with it being Gunther, because I know I would be if that was me.
Oh yeah, without a shadow of doubt. I mean, in my opinion, just my opinion, Gunther is the perfect wrestler. Like, he's the perfect wrestler. He can cut a promo. He can kick the shit out of you, and he does it believably. He's a tremendous ring, and my personal favourite thing about Gunther is he doesn't have a finisher, because he doesn't need one. Gunther himself, he is a walking finishing move.
Yeah.
And I appreciate this.
Yeah.
Thoroughly. I mean, guys, we're going to go back to an excitement level question. The match that I'm the most excited for on SummerSlam is Gunther Drew. like because they are going to beat the holy living snot out of each other. Like,
He's so good.
What do we reckon? 20 minutes?
I just think one thing I want to say about they've got to be 20 plus, 100% 20 plus. I don't think it's Drew's first match back. It's Gunther's probably big one before the last pay-per-view before he becomes the all-time greatest. You know, it's got to be a long one. I think also with Gunther I think everybody goes on about beating the snot out of people in the ring. But if you look at Gunther's whole presentation, from the announcement of his entrance to his music to the way he presents himself walking to the ring, he's the total package, the absolute total package.
Yes, he's the perfect wrestler. That's just how
I mean, like, he's. I mean, it's the total package in the perfect way, not the drug idol killing women type.
Yeah, not the. Let's just say it, not the Lex Luger way of doing things. Yeah, but
that's what I was thinking.
Si, you and I have had the. I don't know. Have you ever seen Gunther live before WrestleMania, Andy?
Yes. Oh,
Andy, before Mania, did you ever see? Oh, okay. But so we all.
Yes, I had to be honest. I've seen probably two of Gunther's best ever. I've seen two of Gunther's best ever matches. So I seen Gunther versus Sheamus at Clash of the Castle, which was a banger, as we all know. And then, believe it or not, on a house show pre-pandemic, I actually seen Walter versus Cesaro.
Ooh, lovely. I was going to say, I mean, my favourite match that I've ever been to live, you were there with me, Si, we were ringside, is Walter versus Ilya Dragunov from Progress Chapter 187. I think it was 187. I can't remember, but I think it was 187. But it is, if nobody has a chance to see this match, go and watch this match. If you have never seen Gunther live, go and watch Gunther live. The only person I can compare Gunther to, presence-wise, is Andre. I know he's not a 7-foot giant like Andre was, etc., but his presentation, the feeling you get during a Gunther match, to me, is very similar to that Andre feeling that you got back in the day of, oh my God, the awe that he projects.
I know which match it is that made you think this as well. This is when we went to Wembley Arena, and he fought Tyler Bate. Yeah. And there was quite a few spots where Tyler was like trying to body slam him. And it was reminiscent of like Hulk and Andre, but in a good way.
Yeah, in a very good way. Very, very good way. But also, we're going to speak to Gunther because his greatest opponent is Ilya Dragunov. That's just my opinion. Absolutely. They are made for each other. The matches that they have. If anybody was lucky enough to see the matches they had in NXT UK, probably the best matches that they ever put on in NXT UK was Gunther versus Dragunov. I just want to get your opinion on this, guys. The rumor is that Ilya will be joining Imperium. Now, do you think it would be better for Ilya to join Imperium, or do you think they're only going to put him in Imperium because he's European?
He's not European.
He is European, isn't he? I thought he was half German.
Oh, he's Russian.
He's
Russian.
He's Russian. He's got a German. Hasn't he got a German mother?
You're right. Okay, so people who count Russia as Europe, right? This has nothing to do with what's going on.
No, I'm just counting Germany as Russia. I'm just counting Germany as Europe.
Germany is Europe, yeah. Russia isn't Europe. People say it is economically, but geographically, like 95% of it is in Asia. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is true. But either way, I always thought he was half German. I'm sure I had a German mother.
No, he's Russian.
Probably am wrong. Oh, okay.
I think he's Russian.
Yeah, well, I'm half Italian and I'm not from Italy.
Good point. Good point.
I never knew this. Right, okay.
Yeah, it's very. How can you not tell he's half Italian?
Okay, so I'll be honest with you, Nick. You actually do have a point here. So, unfortunately, he was born in Russia, but he did migrate to Germany when he was 5 years old. So
there you go. That's why. That's why I got confused. So he's Russian-born, German-bred.
Yeah.
But Ilya is.
What's German
probably. I'm not even going to dignify that one, son. That was a terrible joke. I'm not even going to dignify that one. Right, lads, but we are shortly fast running out of time. Simon, any news on our giveaway?
Yeah, our giveaway is going to be happening next week in 7 days' time. if you are in England and you're able to travel to somewhere around London around the 26th of August, or if you already have tickets for All In and you've already made plans to travel there, if there's 4 of you, there's going to be a big giveaway coming up. More details. In fact, all the details will be next week on the show.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Sorry, you need to be you need to be travelling to London on the 25th, not the 26th.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry,
Yeah,
the 26th is on the Sunday, isn't it? Simon was right.
I think it's
right,
the 26th.
It is the 26th.
All right.
Yeah,
it
was right.
Because All In's on the 27th.
Yeah. Yeah, it
ladies
is.
and gentlemen, I would just like to say at this time that it means a lot to me, and I'm pretty sure it means a lot to the other guys, everybody that tunes in and watches us every week. We are just 3 nerds desperate for a good wrestling show, and our opinion really means nothing without yours in the comments below. So please, if you tuned in, if you stick with us to the end of every video, leave a like. It's got to be worth that much. It really helps us out. It's the only way the algorithm knows we exist. But I just want to give a personal thank you to Jimmy, to David, to Courtney, to everybody that tunes in live for us every single week. This is therapy to me. It's what puts a smile on my face, professional wrestling, and talking about it with my friends. So I just wanted to take this time to say thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. I love every single one of you. I know I say it every week, but I really do. And that, gents, is all our topics for this week. So Andy, have you got anything you would like to throw in before we do the outro?
No.
Brilliant. Si?
Well, actually, I'd like to take a minute or two to... No, I haven't.
Oh, come on, Si. I thought you were going to follow me there a while ago. I'm just going, no.
I know. Missed opportunity. All right, either way, lads. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy, Courtney, David, everyone who tunes in, thank you so much for doing so. I love you all. I've been Nick the Geek. That's been Andy. That's been Si. See you next week.